A Soldier's Diary, 1893 to 1918. The Black Mountains. An interesting trip I had was to the Black Mountains in Arizona by way of New Mexico and the southern part of Utah. The Black Mountains are up by Lake Mead in Arizona, running along the Colorado River. I was up at Fort Wingate at this time. Fort Wingate is in the New Mexico territory. We left Fort there, heading for Gallup, New Mexico. Then off for the long trail for the Black Mountains. We was sent to look for government employees of all kinds that never come back at all. Also to take Indians who left the reservation and never came back to their reservation. At Gallup, we were joined by a regiment from Fort Apache and some troops from the San Carlos Indian Reservation. We had about 1,400 men almost, in total. We had big wagon trains and a big black mule train. All the rest of them were cavalrymen. We was going up in the Black Mountains where no white troops have ever been. I'm going to tell you, we had some hot spots going over some of them trails. There are a lot of antelope out here, and one day, my sergeant said to me, "Jess, you're a good horseman. See those antelope out there? I want you and another fella to go round them up and bring them in here so we can have some fresh meat to eat." I never heard of rounding up antelope, but I figured the sergeant must know what he's talking about. So me and this other fellow named Jim went off to round them up. They were about half a mile out, but it seemed like Jim and me never got any closer to them than a half a mile away. Finally, I told Jim to circle around one way. I would circle around the other way, and we could close in on them. When I gave the word, we both galloped after them to round them up. Do not let anyone tell you that you can round up antelope. Jim and me chased them sons of bitches all over that day. Damn near killed my horse, got thrown off 5 times, and had one heck of a long ride back to camp. When we got back, we both got ribbed. Seems like they pull this trick on anyone dumb enough to fall for it. Out here in the desert, it is hot and water is scarce. We came across a water hole, but the captain would not let us drink from them because he wanted to make the river. We saw some small watering holes here and there. Some men would jump off their horses and try to fill up their canteen. Sometimes the old captain would look back and see them getting water. He would tell the trumpeter to blow a call and go down and tell them to get back on their horse. He said, "If there is not enough water for all of us, then there is not enough water for one of us." The captain would stand over the water hole with his pistol drawn to make sure no one got any water. Boys, you would shoot a man for a drink of water in this country. Well, on our way up, we had some very long drives. The biggest jump we made was 31 miles in one day. Let me tell you something. That is doing some traveling to cover 31 miles with all wagons and prairie schooners. U.S. cavalry boys could cover 40 miles a day if we had to, but not with wagons. On the wagons, they had big water barrels that a 6-mule team would pull. We would fill up for the mules. The mules did most of the work, so they got water first. Once in a while, we would stop and fill up the barrels. We did stop 2 times and let the horses swallow a couple times. Just try and take them away from that. We had Indian scouts who knew the territory and where the water holes were. Some of the scouts knew the east side some, the west side, and north and south sides. That way, we always know where we are. We stopped more as it came closer to the Black Mountains. But us cavalry boys and their horses had to wait until we hit a river to have a real good drink and bath. But you still had a long ride to get water. We traveled as far as we could with the wagons, and then we switched to pack mules. The country was pretty rough, and a wagon train just could not get up into the mountains. Pretty soon, the pack mules could not get up into the mountains. So we loaded and rode our horses. Our captain was picked to go up to the Black Mountains. Not all cavalrymen could go either. We did not know ourselves how things was, or what we would run into. They tell us we better not even take a pack mule, the scouts said. Maybe so small, meaning that the places might be small. The trail was narrow and steep. It was like riding through little alleys you find behind houses in Philadelphia. Not much water or grass for those horses either.